episode 64 of the Wilderness Podcast. I am your host, Dilz, and with me, as always, is Mr. Deagin.
Hey, how's it going?
The going's pretty good. We're rearing around for Christmas. I guess this is our Christmas episode.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, it's the eve of the eve, so yeah, perfect. Merry Christmas, guys. How's it going?
Let's see. Real life, not too much. I have most of my shopping done. Well, all of it done.
Nice. I did all mine on Amazon. I would just order it at work and shit. It's pretty awesome. Although the only thing is, some things when you're purchasing it, you don't really know the exact thing you're purchasing. The picture looks good.
Yeah.
But there's some, you know what I mean? Imagine buying shoes or something on there. There's some things I'm just too hesitant to buy online because if you buy shoes, you don't really know if they're going to fit you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The size could be right, but anyways. So shopping's good. That's good.
Shopping, I probably bitched about this a couple times throughout the year. Probably starting March-ish. Well, I won't anymore though, because I finally fixed Nier Automata. However you want to pronounce it.
Right, that
So it's been almost a whole year of
game.
that game not working on my computer, and I fixed it, beat the game, and I'm going through my second playthrough of it right now. So that's pretty sweet.
What the problem before was it kept crashing or some shit?
Yeah, during the tutorial it would crash nonstop, and then the thing with the game is the tutorial is 20 minutes without saving. You can't save the first 20 minutes.
Nice.
So I finally got through that after 2 hours of struggling, and then it would just crash every 30 minutes, almost on the dot. Between 25 and 30 minutes, it would just crash. Just hard, just boom, program closed.
Is there no auto saves or anything with that game?
Not really, no. You have to save manually.
Wow, that's brutal.
Yeah. So I got that fixed, which is really nice and an awesome game, so I beat that.
Nice.
PlayerUnknown came out officially, so I played an hour or two of that, but...
Did it really come out officially?
Yeah, it's not in early access anymore. It still plays like an early access, but it's not in early access technically.
That's what I've heard, and I've seen that it was released for the Xbox One, and they didn't call it a game. They called it a game preview or some shit.
Yeah, so it's still in early access for Xbox One. Probably will be forever because it's Xbox, and it's hard to optimize that game, let alone for the Xbox. But yeah, I don't know. Played a little bit of that, realized, it's a fun game, but I get really annoyed dying to dumb shit.
Yeah, glitches and bugs and shit.
Yeah, and you'll play against Chinese players that are super laggy, and I'm not being racist. They have an Asian accent screaming China number one. They're Chinese. But they're super laggy, so you can get into a gunfight, shoot the guy 30 times, light up a whole clip in him, and then go behind a wall and reload, and then he dies, and then you die right afterwards by him. Yeah,
sounds fun.
Yeah, really annoying. I mean, it's better than what it was when beforehand. It's definitely in a better place, but it's still shit game. Still annoying. I feel there's other games. I've been playing the Hearthstone dungeon run. It's a PvE challenge where it's you're going through a dungeon. You kind of build your deck as you go along. That shit's really fun. I like that.
Cool. I got kind of tired of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
It seems I know they kind of put a lot of incentives to be buying packs, but I feel Hearthstone's a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It's a big issue in the community.
I enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I play from time to time still, but it just feels different because you get gems that you can use to spend on card packs. You can spend real life money on the gems to get card packs. But a card pack cost I think 50 gems, and I have close to 7,000 gems.
Yeah.
So I can buy so many card packs, and like I'll like not play it for a week. I'll come back and I'll get notifications being like the holiday giveaway. Here's 1,000 fucking gems, and I'm like, oh my god, I got way too many.
Yeah. You know, Hearthstone it's a money sink. That's why I just play the dungeon run, because you don't need actual money. It's free, and you don't need like cards and stuff. It's given to you. So it's fun to kind of mess around, but other than that, just like random shit. RuneScape related though, I did like quite a bit actually.
Oh shit.
I mentioned I got my boost done. Did I do that last episode?
I don't think so.
Well, I got my boost done. It was like number 63, I believe. So
nice.
I think the last time I mentioned it was 62 or something. My cat had died, and I was growing a new one. And then I like had it, and I just didn't want to start it again. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm bored. So I went and got enough for like 6 or 7 boosts, and then the first one worked, and I was like, all right, cool. Got my and it was actually a 5 boost too. So I was able to get my ornate jewelry box and my pool done.
Score.
Yeah, so that's pretty hot. What else? I did a bunch of Slayer. I'm like, let me grab the numbers, you know.
I'm like level 98 right now. It's like, you motherfucker.
No, I'm 93, 69% into the level, so I'm pretty close to 94.
Oh, man. You know, it felt good being on top for Slayer for a while.
A solid week.
For a good week.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah, I started grinding that out.
Since.
I think I mentioned I got 73 Hunter, so now I'm kind of going for the 2K total.
Oh, nice.
I got 95 range, which is pretty nice, I guess. I kind of got that passively doing Slayer, because right now, if I can, I'm doing the task with the blowpipe.
Yeah.
Just to be kind of more efficient with my combat skills. I didn't really realize how expensive it is to use a blowpipe, though.
Oh, it adds up.
Like, I'm using, like, the Blessed D'hide, like, top legs. I have the Anguish necklace, Pegasian boots, like a unholy symbol or some shit, you know, imbued archer ring. Like, I have all, like, the best in slot stuff with the blowpipe for Slayer. And I'll do, like, a Necreal task, make a mill from that, and then spend, like, 600k on just, like, recharging my blowpipe and darts.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But,
yeah, that's the thing, like, I haven't like seriously trained range for a long time. I kind of do something similar where I just get it passively through Slayer when I'm using my cannon on cannibal tasks.
Yeah.
And I'll use the blowpipe only when you're facing a monster where it's like more efficient to kill them with it. So like brutal black dragons.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And like, yeah, I think I'm at like level 90. So it's maybe even higher. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah, my issue is that I have max melee stats, so I feel like if I'm meleeing Necreals, I'm kind of wasting the experience. That just kind of sits in the back of my mind.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah, and it bugs me a little bit, so...
Why aren't you bursting them?
That's so expensive.
Really? I heard it like evens out, where you kind of make what you lose by how fast you're killing them.
You kind of need Lumbridge Elite done, so you can high elk with your ring. Well, what I could do is bring like 3 prayer pots, an imbued heart, and then my runes, and that's it. And then, well, darts obviously to gather. And then after I get a full inventory, go to my house, drink up, bank, go back to my house, use my Zia teleport from the house. You know what I mean? I could do all that stuff, but
I guess you're kind of wasting time there.
Yeah, I would rather do that last. And plus elking, you kind of just train magic passively through elking. And Vengeance and stuff. I'm already 7% in 94, and that's all from Vengeance and Elk. That's all I've ever done with it.
Yeah, and like when you start busting out the trident to kill, I don't know, Barrows or Zolver or whatever
Kraken,
whatever
it is, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of passively gain it as well. I'm going to check right now, my stats pulled up. I'm at 95, and I'm 50% through that, and it's all from passively, you know, alking, teleports maybe. And...
Yeah, so I'm thinking once I get 99 Slayer, like, I'm going to literally I'm probably going to leave Prayer until last, because I can always just, like, if I want to, barrage monkeys to 99 and then get a level, because I got, like, over a level getting to 94 magic with the Bone Crusher.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know, I'm just, like, kind of playing it out efficiently and being really stingy just because like, so I've gotten like a lot of stuff. Like I've made a lot of money these past 2 weeks or 3 weeks ever since I started going hard again. And, like it's actually ridiculous how much money I need. So I had 100 mil at one point, spent like 25-ish on bursting, like 55-ish on construction. And then I bought just like making money through Slayer and bossing. I bought an Anguish and a Pegasian boots. So I have like the best in slot melee. I have full bandos and stuff with the torture. Like I have best in slot melee and range. But like,
shit.
I still need both prayer scrolls. One's like 60 mil last time I checked. I don't know.
Yep.
Augury is 12.2 mil. That's actually way cheaper than I thought. So I need 72 mil.
That's actually not too bad.
Yeah, I need 72 mil for that. I need between 30 and 45 mil just sitting in my bank for Slayer. And specifically for Cerberus. I'll get to that in a second.
That's pretty good. Oh, shit.
So I need so on top of that, it's like 72, but like it's either like 102 to like 117 mil. And then I want my Dragon Warhammer back and all that stuff, right? So it's like, I'm looking at like around 200 mil. Till I'm like happy with the items, until I don't have to like flip items around and stuff to like, oh, I'm doing these tasks, let me sell these and buy these, and okay, well, like, you know, I won't be using range for a while, so I'll put all these up for a little bit more than what like I bought them for, and then try and buy them back. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to like flip my items in between tasks and stuff.
I prefer to just buy an item and just keep it forever.
Exactly. It's nicer, and it's nice that you can flip your items in between Slayer tasks. Like, so if I'm like right now, what normally I would do is, or I guess not normally, but okay, yeah. So a max melee. So I would sell all my melee stuff, buy best in slot range, but I'd buy the range stuff for cheap and sell my melee stuff for like more. Wait a couple days and then they'd actually go. And then once I'm done range, I'd like flip it back. But, it's such a hassle and I just can't be bothered. And I like would make more money in a day doing, if I just had all the items, you know what I mean? Instead of having to flip them.
Yeah, okay.
And plus I just want the prayers. Like I kind of need them. Helps bossing so much, helps PKing so much. Like they're really important.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And it's just like prayer itself, it's like getting the levels is kind of a small improvement to your combat, I'd say, but they start adding up, as in, I mean, like, you get these things like prayer potions start, you know, giving you more prayer when you use, right?
Yeah, the higher your prayer, the more your prayer pot uses, gives you, and same with, like, restores and stuff. Like, right now, restores give me 26 prayer, and a normal prayer dose gives me 25, and I have 75 prayer, so it'll kind of keep going up from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I don't know, I'm looking at like all this stuff, and thankfully, like I'm kind of working it all out just for future planning of my account, because like I kind of hit all my goals that I wanted, and it's like at the end of the year too, right? So I'm trying to like set new goals for this year to come, and like a lot of it is like how to like efficiently get the money for everything. So like, if I hit 2K total, I have an option to go to the 2K total world and hunt black chins, but if I get attacked by someone, the servers are laggy, and they're most likely, like, in max tribrid gear. So, like, I will die if they hit me. If I could go to, like, a lower world and then just run, because people are bad. Most PKers are, like, not that good. But yeah, I don't know. So like, if I were to do, I did the math, if I were to do 99 Hunter only doing black chins, and I don't lose a single one, which I definitely will lose some, I'll make about 98.9 mil. So that alone pays for the prayer and all that stuff, right? That like that's half the money I need right there from hunting. And then, like, yeah. And then I could do rune crafting and stuff as well. I need 10 levels in rune crafting, I believe.
You probably make way more money there than what you would with hunting. I'm surprised. I thought hunting would be a bit more.
Really?
Well, 99 is like a huge milestone to try to achieve, and like 90 mils a lot, but then on the grand scheme of things, it's not at the same time. Like you look at a twisted bow, and like 90 mils kind of pennies.
Yeah.
In comparison.
Yeah. So like, sorry, I thought I had it already pulled up. Okay, so if I want 99 hunter from my level, my experience, which is like pretty much 1 mil. It's almost 1 mil. It's 993,347. But I need to hunt 38,226 black chins to get to 99.
Shit.
And that, I don't know what the experience per hour is, but each black chin is 315. And if you have it, if you have the setup properly, if you have the right chin placement, you're pretty much in a perpetual state of having to take a chin out of your box. You know what I mean? So like the experience, like I would get this 98 mil much faster, and I'd get the levels much faster than runecrafting. Runecrafting's super bad experience. It's like a mil an hour runecrafting though. It was last time I was doing it.
Yeah.
Nats have probably dropped a lot since. Just probably a little bit under a mil an hour.
Even with something like the Iranian altar, you make a fair bit of GP just from that.
Yeah, I mean, I would just do double cosmics or nature runes, whatever makes me more money, because runecrafting's like going to be slow regardless. Like 5 or so K an hour, I don't care about that. I care more about the money. Because if I look at like being efficient, I always like to try and be efficient with my skilling and stuff. If I'm like focusing on it, I get really stressed out with runecrafting because it's so slow. Same thing with blast furnace. That's faster, but every like second you waste is literal money being thrown into like the abyss because you lose money every game tick when you're doing blast furnace.
And it all starts stacking up, and then like if you start comparing your efficient hours to an hour where you slacked off and you're watching and reading things on the side, next thing you know, it's just like,
it's stressful.
I ain't making any. I make no progress.
Yeah, so
which is why I couldn't alch and do agility, because I find myself like I would just, I don't know, I just would get distracted, I guess, and I was failing at both.
I kind of liked it. I was forced to watch a movie, Moana, like 3 times over the course of my alching agility grind, way back when. And I just focused on agility. Any downtime I noticed, I would try to fit in an alch, see if that like slowed down my agility experience at all. And just kind of play around with it. And it's kind of fun, like testing that type of stuff out for yourself. It sucks, but I like it. I don't know.
Moana a good movie?
The first time, yeah. Like the 4th time, you just kind of listen. You're pretty much waiting for a song, and you're like, all right.
Is it one of those movies where you're always catching different things?
Not really.
From,
AIDS.
like, multiple watches? Okay.
No, it's a good movie, but being forced to watch it like 4 times in 1 week, I just, I couldn't do it. Yeah. I don't know how I got onto that, but I've been doing a lot of Slayer, and I did something really. I've been really stupid for the past like 3 months. You want to know what happened?
Sure.
Okay, so shortly after doing Monkey Madness 2, maybe like a month after, I found out you could kill demonic gorillas through black demons. And I'm like, nice. And I'll get around to that. I'll get around to that later. Whatever. I just kind of like AFKing Slayer and stuff. And then eventually, maybe like a month or 2 ago, when I realized like once you get some of like the normal, like not the normal, but like the bigger Slayer items out of the way, or the combat training items, whatever. You
talking about things like the Sarah God sword, maybe full Guthins, things like that.
Yeah, once you get specifically, let's say you have like Guthins. You're wearing like full Torags as well for Slayer. You know what I mean? You have like just Barrows gear. You're like, all right, if I want best in slot melee, it's gonna be like 65 mil. With Tacit's BCP, Pegasian, Torture, all that geisha. Like, you kind of like, all right, I gotta start making money. And From there, I'm like, all right, cool. Whenever I get Black Demon tasks, I pretty much have a 50-50 to get 8 mil because they're a 1 in 300 drop a Zenyte shard. Mm-hmm. They consistently give you good money regardless. And you get like 100 to 200, I think. I don't know. I've gotten one task since then. And that comes down to yesterday. I was like, why the hell do I never get Black Demon tasks? Like, I don't get this. And I went to go block like blue dragons or some shit because I got it like 8 times in a day. And I'm like, it's just, I'm going to block it. So I have like pretty much like iron, steel, and blue dragons blocks. I fucking hate them. Minions the Cerberus and stuff. But so after I maxed my melee stats, I changed my block list. So before then I had like blood velds and stuff blocked, trolls, all this stuff that like I just couldn't be bothered to, but now it's not too bad to actually range them and you can cannon trolls and stuff.
Yep.
And during that switch, I decided to block black demons without even realizing it.
Okay.
It's either I was like out of it, like just like tired or like not paying attention, I blocked it, or I just did it by accident. But I realized I had black demons like blocked the whole time yesterday and I got so mad and I unblocked it, got a task today. I had like 168 for the first time. I made like 1.8 mil or 1.7 mil. 168 black demons.
From the demonic gorillas?
Yeah.
That seems alright.
That's disgustingly nice money. Like Necreals, 200, I'd get 1 mil.
Yeah, but they're so AFK. Like, you barely have to pay attention.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. I've been PKing a lot, as I mentioned, and I'm really stuck. I kind of want to grind Zara for like a week straight and see how much money I can make. This is about $1 mil an hour, but
it's probably more still.
No, I watched I think it's Mr. No Sleep. He's like a YouTuber. He did a video of 30 hours of like nerfed Zara, and like he's better at Zara than I am. Like I'm not that good at it, and he's got max stats, and he's like bringing like way better gear than I would, and he was making average 1 mil an hour.
Really? That's
yeah, like 1.1 or something. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that that's bad, but I just expected Zara to be more. There was a time where it was like 3 mil an hour consistently.
Yeah, the most efficient at one point, the most efficient setup, like the best of the best, and you're really good at Zara, it was like close to 5 mil an hour. Like how stupid is that? And they nerfed it like really hard. But yeah, he was getting something like 1 mil an hour, and I would, or maybe he was getting more than 1 mil, but like I have shittier gear. I don't have like Lumbridge Elite done. You know what I mean? So like I got like a lot of little things. So I would be making like about 1 mil, and I might as well go Runecraft. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
So but yeah, anyways, I did a lot of Cerberus.
Any goods?
My total out of all Cerberus kills, I now have 6 Pegasians.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude, 70k each. Let's go, dude. If those are primordials, man, that's all I'm saying. Or even Eternals.
Yeah, Eternals are good. I got one of those once.
Yeah.
I think they're like 2 or 3 mil.
Yeah, 3.3 mil as of like 20 minutes ago. Because
that's
I also got an Eternal like a little bit before we started recording.
Shit.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of Cerberus this week, and I'm just bringing this up now because fucking we're on the topic of Pegasians. So if you don't know, Cerberus has a chance of dropping 3 different crystals called the Pegasians, Primordials, and Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
And
he can drop a smoldering stone for like the dragon pickaxe and the dragon axe, which like upgrades it.
That thing's worth about 800k, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, the chance of getting any one of those 4, it's like 1 in 150. Something like that.
I think each one is 1 in 512. Each of the 4 is 1 in 512. So like it averages out about every 128. You should get one on average. Okay. But
yeah, it's funny because the Pegasian crystal, which is what you use to upgrade your ranger boots into the Pegasian boots. Yeah, it's on the same drop table as the Primordials, which is worth 20 mil.
Yeah,
and
like
I went to
18 mil,
Cerberus, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, I was actually thinking this too. So this is what fucking got my heart to just drop. I was like, I could come here and do one kill and just get Primordials and make 20 mil. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, I was just, I don't know, I was up late, like whatever. I was like really tired and just pondering, like having some deep thoughts. And I was like, your first kill, you're just as likely to get a Primordial as your 1000th kill. It's obviously, right?
Yeah.
And anyways, Pegasians dropped, and it's just purple text popped up, and my fucking heart dropped, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Picked it up, checked the GE, or checked the OS Buddy GE, and it's like 70K. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah. So, really fucking annoying, because I actually really like what they've done with Cerberus. So I'll say this. I've gotten, in total, 6 fucking Pegasians, 2 Eternals, which I'm actually very happy with, and then
Eternals
1 Primordial.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I did over 400 kills this week. Can you believe that?
God damn.
That's when you can tell I had nothing to do this week.
You always got RuneScape to do that.
Dude, I keep getting it. Last 2 days, I had like 180 Cerberus kills. My buddy lent me his Arcane. He had a Cerberus task, so he got an Arcane, or a Spectral Spirit Shield, which like reduces the prayer drain. And the big thing with Cerberus is that he's got this mechanic that, like, if you do it properly, drains up to 90 prayer. So like it pretty much makes you go like out of prayer every time he does this stupid Aru stuff.
Yeah,
but it gets halved, so it goes down to 45. But
so
the issue,
useful.
Yeah, it's stupid. It literally doubles your trips. I go from an average of like 5-ish kills without it to like 12. And dude, I had a 21 kill trip last night. I had like 21 to go, and I got it all done in my last trip. And I was like, all right, that's sweet. I got so many food and potion drops, but
yeah, that's awesome.
I grinded out like 2 or 3 sessions of like 80, like 2 sessions of like 80 Cerberus kills, because I was borrowing my buddy's shield and I wanted to get it done before he needed it back or wanted it back. And then I got another one today. I've pretty much done 2 Cerberus tasks since he's like done 1. It's
nice.
Pretty fucked. But I don't know what the point of that was. I've just been doing so much Cerberus, and like, so the thing that I like about it is that when you have Hellhound tasks and you decide to do Cerberus, you really should never expect to walk out with profit, because if you get no crystal drops, like, you have a high chance of just losing money throughout doing that as a task, because
Are you sure it's a high chance of losing money, or just a high chance of barely making money just with your the cost of supplies? Because I found myself walking out with like not a huge amount of profit, but I was able to buy all my food, all my potions that I used, and still have a little bit left over.
So if you have, it's safe to assume that at least you're going through 1 prayer potion to kill on Cerberus, but it's like more like 5 doses. If you don't have a Arcane, so it's probably even more if you don't have a Spectral, I mean. And if you have like 180 to kill, you're going to be spending close to 1.6 mil on prayer potions alone. Because like as of right now, they're going for like 8.5k each, and you'll burn through, like, I bought 200 and like ran out on a task. Yeah, that's 1.6 mil. You get a lot of rune and stuff, but if you don't get any big items, like, you have to also factor in like staminas that you're drinking. I have to drink summer pies just to make it faster. If I want to really be dumb or like lame, I can factor in my home teleports. All like all your food, everything. Like the first couple times I did Cerberus, first couple like tasks I did, like my first 400 kills, I would keep track of how much I used, and like sometimes I would go like I'd break even, or like I'd make a little bit of money, or I'd make less. So it's kind of like,
what food are you bringing?
Sharks.
Okay, yeah, I am too. But then again, like, I usually, when the ghosts come out, I only got 70 prayers, so I get the choice of maxing out my prayer and avoiding damage at all, but I always take one hit of 30. So I try to keep my prayer around 30 to 40.
Yeah.
So that one guy's draining 30, and then the next guy that hits me is going to be draining like 5 prayer points because I only got 5 left.
Yeah, and then you tank the last guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do that sometimes. I kind of go there to see how many trips I can get. So, like, I try and keep my food and my prayer potions balanced. So, like, ideally, I have 30 HP with no supplies left on a back when I have to, like, peace out. But, I do the same thing. I do the same thing where I'm not maxing my prayer as much as I can. I try and keep it, like, around, like, 60. If I'm tanking all of them, like 68 is the most I'll keep it as the Aru comes out, as they start approaching.
Mm-hmm.
But with the spectral, I stay at like 30. Like I'll drink a potion to go up to like 38 at most, and I can block all shots. Like it's game changer.
Nice.
I want to try out a bludgeon though, because bludgeon is like the best offensive weapon. It's 2-handed though, so it's the best in slot crush. Cerberus is weak to crush, so I kind of want to try that out.
Yeah, that might get tricky with without being able to use the Spectra shield.
I mean, I wouldn't, because right now it's not even like the one I'm using isn't even mine.
Yeah,
it's my buddy's who's like nice enough to like pretty much let me use it for like a day straight. So like, if I can't get it from him, if I can't borrow it off of him, I'll just buy like a bludgeon or something and try that out. Because it will go by faster, but last thing I'll say about Cerberus, I'm kind of conflicted because I have like in total 9 primordial drops out of 1,000, or not primordials, 9 crystal drops out of 1,000 and like, I think I'm at 1,020.
Okay.
But they're all Pegasians. Like, you know, I should
in that RNG.
Yeah, on average, I should have my second primordial, like right now, but I don't because I'm getting so many Pegasians. I don't know. It's all RNG, obviously, and I got no smolderings. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just isn't it comforting to know that all 6 of your Pegasians, they technically had a chance of being primordials?
Dude, I actually
having 6 primordials.
I can't stop thinking about that. It's like, all right, 6 Pegasians. You know what? That's like what 420k or something.
Yeah, sure.
I think.
Probably less, but yeah, okay, we'll go with it.
Yeah, it's 420k-ish. Pretty close to that. And, 1 smoldering stone would have been double that. Not don't even look at the primordials. 1 smoldering stone. Oh, but I've gotten 2 Eternals. Like, that is fine. 6.6 mil from that. And then, like, man, okay, I'm sorry I keep going on about Slayer, but I got the demonic gorilla task, and I'm like, sweet, I get Slayer, money, and I get to practice my switches for PKing and stuff.
Yeah.
And, cause I can switch my gear fine in PKing. It's switching gear and prayers at the same time where, like, I start to struggle because I have, like, smaller hands than the average person.
Porn star hands?
Yeah, pretty much. Got hands of like a midget.
Nice.
Yeah, I have tiny hands, but, never mind. I was gonna make a stupid joke.
Okay.
So my F keys, like I have, with my keyboard, my F keys is like almost a whole inch above my 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then my escape is an inch between my F keys, and I use my escape for inventory. So I have to like stretch my, like I can feel the strain in my hand just holding escape and F3, which is my, like F3 is my magic. F1 is spec, 2 is prayer, 3 is magic. And you can go into your option settings and like customize your F keys, and you can enable escape to close like your bank and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't know that, go to the wrench and hit the F1 or whatever, and then it has your options there if you've never done that. So yeah, I don't know. Like I still have to get used to that. I can switch gear, I just can't do prayers. But like after like my first trip in demonic gorillas, I did like 3 and I was out of food. And then my last one, I did like 25. You know what I mean? So I got like way better at like from just that task alone. I got way more comfortable with switching food or switching prayers and gear and not having to eat as much food and stuff. Like, and I was even prey flicking at one point. Too. Pardon?
Oh, sorry. No, keep going.
No, I was just saying like, I don't know. I just got like a lot better at it. So it's kind of like Demonic Gorillas is sick. I just really like that task right now because I've noticed a big improvement in like, just my swapping of gear and prayers and you know.
Yeah, not just that though. You start getting better at the fight because they're not technically boss monsters, but they have these mechanics that you could see coming from a boss. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm explaining it too properly.
Yeah, I can explain it because okay, so the reason why you have to swap your stuff around, so Demonic Gorillas will attack you with magic range or melee, and it'll do, if it hits 3 zeros on you with like say magic, it'll swap to either range or melee and does that with all the 3. So like you don't have to keep track, but it's better if you do.
It's not just zeros though, it's 3 hits in general, right?
No, I'm pretty sure it has to hit 3 zeros on you specifically and then it'll swap off.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just 3 hits in general.
I can look it up.
And they also do this like cannonball move where they'll like a boulder will come from the sky. I say cannonball because it kind of looks like a cannonball, but it'll land on the tile that you're currently standing on. So you got to kind of move back, but it'll deal 30% of your current health. That move right there doesn't count as one of the hits for the 3.
Yeah. Okay. So it says they will switch combat styles after 3 missed hits, regardless if your prayers blocked it or not. So if it hits 3 zeros on you with say magic, it'll swap to one of the other 2.
Really?
Yeah. It might. I believe it also has a chance to go back to the same attack style too. I think it's completely random. Yeah, they can repeat combat styles, so it's like you're kind of on your toes the whole time. It's to prevent
that's straight from the wiki, right? Like that's for sure.
Reading it right here off the wiki.
Oh, that explains a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If it hits 3 zeros, because if you think of it, like they hit hard and they're pretty accurate if you're not praying on them.
Yeah.
So if you're like praying melee and they hit you with 3 mage moves and you're being dumb, and then it would just switch to, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of keep it more of like a higher skill cap. But yeah, so they also have so they have the 3 attack styles they switch between, and you have to switch your overheads between that. And they also have like a special attack, quote unquote, where they drop a boulder where you are and you have to move out of the way. And that can hit for like 30s.
Yeah, it does 30% of your current health.
Yeah.
So if you have full health, it hits pretty damn hard.
Yeah, it chunks.
But it's easy. You just click away and
yep. Yeah, you just move. Just hope you're not lagging. Pretty much it. Just don't be Australian, you're set.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, and then the other mechanic, you have to switch your weapons around. So every time you do 50 damage, it'll switch its overhead prayer. So it's kind of weird. So like if you like I don't know how to yeah, just like every 50 threshold, it switches its overhead prayer. So like you swap from melee to range over and over and over again when you're fighting them. And like, it's kind of tricky because sometimes you can hit like a 48 and then you'll swap to like your blowpipe and you'll hit him for like a 10. And then he switches again and you'll switch and you'll have like, you have to keep going back and forth between switching sometimes if you're hitting too high.
Yeah.
All like the whole time while you're putting your overhead. And if, like, I was doing Eagle Eye and Chivalry or Piety the whole time, just trying to, just to make it a little bit more challenging for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because, eventually you kind of have to do that for PKing.
Yeah, that's where I struggle.
Yeah, that's where it gets really tricky. And, yeah, it's really good to practice, your switches for PKing and Zulrah and Jad. So if you're one of the few that have Monkey Madness 2 done and not Jad, then, yeah, but I do I do a necklace switch. You don't have to do a necklace switch. I do that, and then I have a weapon switch. So it's a 3 item, and then I have a spec and stuff like that with my God Sword. But I'm kind of rambling. I'll pretty much cut it off there. I probably did some other stuff, but
Nothing else worth mentioning?
like PKing.
Anything good there?
I actually died for the first time this month. I believe maybe it's the second
Wow, look
time.
at you, pro PKer here. The moments that stick out is your one death.
Yo, and here's the thing: I wasn't even PKing. Want to know what I was doing?
Clue scroll.
Doing our fucking little community event. That some of our CC hosts. So he had a clue for his last item, which was like a BGS, and I'm like, all right.
Nice.
He said it's in the wilderness, and he said like the hint was like something about the wilderness, and it was a maze, right? So I'm like, boom, lava maze. I'm gonna win. Burning amulet. All I had was anti-fire and a burning amulet. And some fucker in max tri-breed just destroys me. And I'm like, all right, okay. And so I go and I leave and like I respawn and I go and grab all my shit 'cause I want to go fight him now. I want to go 1v1 him. And so I'm like, fuck, that kind of cheesed me. I literally had nothing up. Well, I had a necklace and an anti-fire. He's just being a dingus. And, so I go back out there to go find him, and I find him, and like I forgot to. Well, I didn't forget, but like I brought entangles and shit. But I should have brought ancient magics. So I'm fighting him. The fight's like pretty decent, and he just runs away. He gets out and tellies because I didn't telly block him like an idiot. Like I didn't bring telly blocks. We were near the I don't know why. I was just being stupid. I thought I could just like kind of Rambo spec him. And then he called me some mean words, hurt my feelings. So I went back. Swapped to Ancients, and I started looking for him. I found him again, hit him with an ice barrage, and he just insta-tellies. Nice. I was so mad. He kept running for me, and then I went and found the guy, and I won the event, but...
Oh, nice. You're the one who won?
I didn't take the prize, though, because it kind of looks bad. Like, it might... I don't know. I feel like it looks like bad if I win.
Some mod Jed and Rot situation.
Yeah.
Getting the leaks.
I don't know. I just do it for fun. I really don't. I mean, I do care about the money. Like the 5 mil would have been nice and juicy, but like I don't. I don't want to make my money like that. Just racing people. I don't know. I just do it for fun. I just want to. What I care about is winning. I don't care about the prize. Like I want to. I want to be the first one there. I want him to type in chat, "Hey, Deagin won."
Where was he?
He was at the Chaos Altar.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. He wasn't directly at it. He was like, you had to climb a ladder and go find him. He was like out.
Okay.
But that was Yeah, I don't know. It's good stuff. Okay. Now I think I'm done.
You all done?
No. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll take the raids for a little bit. I'll tell you about my little what's the word I'm looking for? Uneventful week. The reason I was asking about that, where is hiding, was because I was ready to jump in and do that, but then I had family come over as soon as it fucking started. I'm sitting there playing and shit. All I hear is, Dylan, we're here! Da-da-da. I'm like, what? Oh, man, I'm playing RuneScape. I should have locked the goddamn door.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Just throw a dog toy. Tammy! And then you got a solid hour. Let them play with the dog.
Yeah, still setting up in the house. It's been really fucking busy trying to get things ready, especially with Christmas just around the corner. Been trying to get everything set up and stuff like that. Like, finally got the house painted, which was like a big issue because I couldn't get a couch in until it was painted, and I couldn't move shit into the living room until things were painted, and this and that and all this other bullshit. But it only took them like 3 weeks to paint the house, so that's good. So finally I can start setting the little office up. I can get the podcast studio under construction, but I'm still kind of set up in the spare room upstairs on this fucking... I'm on a table that's like... It's like a beer pong table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not very good. You fucking knock it a little bit, everything starts swaying, and it looks like my monitors are going to fall over, but... Yeah, hopefully get that sorted out. Yeah, just really fucking busy. I had to bring in the couch today and I had to like take it all apart so it could fit down the basement, and then I had to been building IKEA and stuff like that, which makes you want to blow your brains out sometimes. I got a fucking wardrobe sitting up in the bedroom that I still have to finish tonight. But, here I am. Here we are recording, so there's my priorities.
Yep.
I'm sure I'll regret something about that later on when I'm up until 4 a.m. trying to get the stupid wardrobe together. Man, moving is brutal.
Oh yeah, dude, I hate it.
It's kind of fun, but then there's things that I just hate, like
something always goes missing and something always breaks.
Yeah, and things don't fit when you have like the small, like when you're in like a small, like you need a mansion. That's what you need. Everyone needs a mansion just so you could freely move your shit around when you move into it. I can't get my fucking box spring for my mattress upstairs.
Damn, dude.
So now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll go buy a bed frame from IKEA, but that shit's expensive. I don't got this fucking type of money.
Yeah. I don't know, like, have you ever noticed, I mean, you probably noticed with your girlfriend, but I noticed, like, most girls, or, like, females, I guess, a little bit of a stereotype, but they overpack a box.
Oh,
they'll fit
God,
everything in one box, and it's, like, 80 pounds, like, alright, can you move this? Like, what? You gotta divide this shit up. I'm not strong, what the hell?
Yeah, we've moved a bunch. It's like every year we've moved to, like, we were living in apartments for a while and then basement apartments, and then we got a house, and now we're moving into a smaller house that we're going to rent for a bit. So we've been moving like every single year, and this happens like 40% of the time where it's like, oh man, cardboard box, and we have a bunch of comic books, right?
Yep. You guys have like a fucking library of like books and comic books.
And we got a bunch of comic books because there was a point in time where every Sunday we'd go to the comic book store and find the new issues, and then we'd buy them, and we slow down a bit because it gets expensive.
Yeah.
But on top of that, you can put a lot of comic books into a cardboard box, and once you've put like 300 comic books into a cardboard box, that shit's really heavy. Like, it's so heavy where, like, okay, Dylan, move it. And I went to go pull it, and it instantly just broke out the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. That done happened, but glad you mentioned that. If you hear some commotion going on in the background, my girlfriend's just kind of moving some things around. She ain't respecting the podcasting we're doing right now.
Yeah, gotta get that studio set up. A neon light, like a do not disturb neon sign or something.
On air.
Yeah.
Be sick.
Maybe like a bug zapper. You step in too close to the tripwire and it just swings down.
And barbed wire and shit that sets up outside the door.
Yeah.
No girls allowed. But anyways, yeah, that definitely needs to happen. It'd be cool. I want to soundproof it and stuff. And
yeah,
I got not high expectations. I'm very ambitious with that room, and it might just devolve into something like a desk, and that's it. So
yeah,
but we'll see. Anyways, that being said, what have I done video game related? Not much. Not much at all. I'm trying to think, what the fuck did I do? It seems like I've been hopping on RuneScape, like maybe each night or maybe once every other night. Try to get on and just do my farm run, which it's not bad. I've grown a few levels. Let's see, I do my herb runs. And I do my trees every day now, like my fruit trees and normal trees. I have, so I do those. I have a Calquat. Calquat, is that the word? I think that's the word. It's in Bai One Eye Trio Village.
Yeah.
Fuck these words. I need to have these in front of me.
Yeah, the Taiwan Boy Village.
Yeah. So you can plant that Calquat tree there.
Yep.
And it takes like 4 days for it to grow. Yep. But you get like 13,000 experience just for checking the health.
You should, sorry to interrupt, but you should look into certain farming patches, tree patches, grow faster than others.
Is that true? I thought it was just the tick system and the way you logged out. Like sometimes when you logged out, it would reset some of how they were kind of working. So like if you planted, let's say, the 10 tree plant.
Yeah.
If you plant the tree, if you plant the 10 tree patches and then, well, it's 5 normal trees, 5 fruits. Like, let's say the first one might have gone through a tick cycle, while the last one didn't, and then you log off and it resets your whatchamacallit. So it can kind of cause some of them to grow faster than others.
Yeah, there's if you do like,
is that what you mean?
There's like a route you can Google, like the efficient planting route, and some of them will like pretty much always not be in the right order because of the tick. But I think Mod Ash is trying to fix it.
I've been pretty lucky with the fruit trees and my normal trees. They all seem to be done every single day, which I must have been kind of getting fucked by that tick system, because I remember in the past I always thought fruit trees took like 3 days to grow. But I've been pretty lucky. The Calquat seems to take like 3 days to grow, though. So I think it just in general takes a long time to grow because they're super cheap. The seeds, they're like extremely cheap, but also great experience.
Yeah.
Even though they take a couple days, but you just plant them and then you go check it, you get that 15K. It's a sapling is 700 GP, but a tree seed is 500 the tree seed is 200 GP. So you could actually plant those and turn them into saplings, maybe make some profit. Interesting. But yeah, pretty cheap for the experience. And then I've also been doing the mahogany trees, which were released with the Fossil Island update. Those things take like 3 days as well. But I am definitely, getting fucked by the tick system over there, because so far I would log on and only one of my trees would be ready out of the 3. So then I'm like, okay, the other 2 will be ready tomorrow. Log in the next day, go back, and only one of the other trees is ready to be harvested. Yeah. So I'm getting kind of screwed there, I guess, but whatever. It's
Runescape.
When you're doing all the trees and shit, it does kind of take some time. Like, I'm finding myself on for like 40 minutes, an hour doing all that, but you get some pretty good experience. I think I've grown 3 levels, something like that. I'm at like 78.
Yeah, farming is like stupidly good. Like, you just go on. If you do dailies, I should really do my dailies. I don't always, though.
I try to too.
If you just like have like you do your dailies, and while you're doing your like farming route stuff, it's like just free experience. It can get costly though, like yew trees and stuff. Once you get up there, maybe even maples and up, it starts getting a little pricey.
Yeah, maples they're like 40,000 a pop, and you're planting 5 a day, let's say. Yeah. So it's like 200K. And if you're doing that every single day, it does definitely add up, and it starts costing you more money than you're actually making off your herbs.
Yeah.
But again, it's good experience. I kind of want to get up to like 83 or whatever the spirit trees are, just so that I can use it in my player-owned house. I can finally have that as well as the fairy rings. It would be just awesome to be able. You need level 99 for this, but it'd be great to be able to have every single spirit tree planted somewhere, and you just got like 7 teleports with your spirit trees.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, it is. I think that's my RuneScape week right there. I'm trying to think, and I did some Cerberus, like I mentioned, but nothing much to mention there.
What's your kill count?
Maybe 200.
Not bad. Once you start hitting that 512, you can start bitching about your lack of Pegasians. You can,
yeah.
Or lack of
I did get one, like I mentioned. Yeah, Primordials. That's true. That's the only one I'm missing now. I've also gotten 2 Smoldering Stones, so I've gotten pretty lucky. That's 4 uniques. It's pretty good, but those Primordials would be great. Oh man. One day though, right?
Yeah, I mean, time will only tell, and we're like nearing the end of the year. So I guess before we get into the news, we should mention that there was a data live stream we mentioned before, but I think next episode we should kind of go over like the whole year in terms of like data.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What we've done, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff.
Yeah, was it Wilderness Podcast Rewind? Isn't that what all the other shit's doing? Like, I've seen a Twitch Rewind and a YouTube Rewind.
Yeah, we'll have like I guess just like to sum up the whole year, I guess. Well, not like...
Yeah, I was going to say... Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to watch the data stream, and I had it queued up at some point, but I've just been so busy that I haven't been able to sit down and actually watch it, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's too much.
But there'll be, like, a lot to talk about through there. I already have some points I want to bring up for that. So, like, I'm thinking, like, next episode will probably just be dedicated to, like, a RuneScape Rewind-esque.
Yeah, we could...
I don't know if you're feeling that, but I'm kind of feeling that.
But yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it next week just because I got the week off of work now. I can spend some more time. I can go over it. Maybe I can make some notes.
Mm-hmm.
Can't find my podcasting notebook, though.
Man,
it's in a box
this
somewhere.
is a Christmas-based episode, you know? All of our Christmas themes.
Yeah, this is true. Got the eggnog?
Oh, yeah, dude.
I got a bottle of water. My eggnog's in a carton, but I should have prepared. Maybe I'll go grab some. Maybe we'll take a little breather, and I'll go get some real quickly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, next week we will definitely talk about the data stream and, yeah, spend some time talking about it. So that should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that being said, is it time?
I'm glad you mentioned that this was a Christmas episode. I just went and got my eggnog, and we're good to go. I can't believe we were recording this episode without any nog next to me.
Oh yeah, dude. Got my can of nog right here.
That's disgusting. All right, let's get into it.
No news. Next segment.
Okay, no lore. So next segment.
No outro. Okay. I'm gonna make this joke like as much as I can. I'm just gonna run into the ground. Anyways, starting off, we have the official Deadman winter winners announced. No winners.
Yeah.
Just keep. Okay, but
damn.
Yeah. So Mangt came in first. He won 20K GP.
Congratulations. Nice.
He won 4 bonds.
Yeah.
No, he won $20,000. The guy who beat him, Goofy.
I just want to say, I love how they put 20K. Like, it's not 20,000. They're keeping it real old schooly.
Little grassroots, you know? But yeah, the guy who won Goofy, he was botting. He botted some magic and stuff. We talked about that before, so we got disqualified. But yeah, so Mankt wins 20,000, and it's pretty cool because he was on stage when that happened, so that's pretty tight.
Yeah, that's cool.
Second was, well, I guess there's 2 seconds. There's the 2 semifinalists. Rupperlol. I guess that's how you say his name.
Yeah, I guess.
60,000 or 6,000. Sorry. Whoa.
Imagine semifinalists make way more.
Yeah, he got MVP. And then the other semifinalist was Mika 279, who also won 6,000.
Congrats, nice.
And then the rest of these people won Premier Gold clubs. I'll just rattle them off. So we have Kalmars, Cow Slayer 2011, X Ducknan X, Jacobro, Show Bob, Tight Goat 666, Windchinner, Misclicks XCD, DWO Reddit, Esketeet, I don't know how to say that, Esketeet, I guess, probably in a clan, Fools Kings, and Temper TNT. So
nice.
Those guys place in the last 16. They get some hot Premier Club. I kind of wish they had a list of like a wall of shame of everyone who got disqualified and banned.
Oh, I would love that.
And their reasons. I don't know why they don't have that.
It might encourage some people who know they're not going to win to somehow make it onto the wall of shame somehow.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, guess what time it is? It's been about a week since we haven't talked about it. It is Wilderness Rejuvenation 2 in retrospect.
Oh shit.
You know what I feel like? A mother effing beer.
I didn't have a sound clip ready. That caught me off guard.
Well, here we are. In retrospect, Wilderness Rejuvenation 2 and World 345.
Sweet. I was getting kind of going through some withdrawals without being able to talk about PvP updates. Luckily, you've been PKing.
Yep.
So we'll be able to kind of fill that void a little bit.
Yeah, as much as we could.
I'm glad to have this back. So let's.
Yeah, this is probably our best segment is complaining about the wilderness rejuvenation. The content achieved its desired impact of improving the wilderness activity, and members of the PvP community have largely praised the content. But there are things we haven't done correctly, and they want to fix. So they want to adjust the Revenant graphics. They want to fix those bad boys up.
Interesting.
They want to adjust the drops within Revenant Cave to better align the GP rates, and they're under what they were expected to be. So a little Revenant Caves buff. So you know what that means? Stockpile that ether. I'm calling it. Stockpile that ether. It's going to go up in price. Maybe some bracelets. They're going to go up in price.
Wait, but they're going to tune... So the drops are going to be even better? Is there going to be a super, super rare chance to get 1,000 Dragon Plate legs?
So I think they were like, oh, you want 2 mil an hour? All right. How about this? You're going to get either 100K in an hour or 16 mil. And over the course of 8 hours, it's going to I think that's what they were doing. And that is stupid, and they recognize that, so they're going to probably take out the times 100 stuff. And they're probably just going to give better, maybe noted herbs or something. I could see that being a thing. Which I'm always for, because prayer pots are expensive and they're burning a hole in my goddamn pocket. You know what? Maybe some Zulrah scales too, because that's burning a hole in my goddamn pocket.
Yeah, let the Revenant drop some Zulrah scales.
Yeah, dude. We need a Zulrah Revenant. It'd be good. Going to a little boss room that's multi-combat. It's going to be sick. PKers can log in by a tree that they don't take damage from Zulrah. Callisto 2.0.
That'd be nice to have that.
Yeah. They want to rework the Mage 2 arena boss mechanics to make it feel more challenging.
What?
They want to completely rework the Mage 2 arena boss graphics with new assets, so brand new models.
No. Shut up.
Yeah, they want to expand on the story, aka add story, or create one for Mage 2 arena. And default.
They could have just one sentence that actually is consistent with the lore, and they did what they said they were going to do.
Exactly, right? They want to nerf the Twisted Bow's effectiveness on Mage Arena 2, so all you listeners that don't have the cape and a Twisted Bow, go do that now.
Yeah.
They want to consider enhancing the power of Charged God spells versus the Mage Arena 2 bosses.
Okay.
And yeah, so World 345, if you guys don't know, it is the permanent Deadman world that currently probably 10 players consistently go on.
I check it every now and then. It seems like there's always 90, 100 people on at a time.
Yeah.
Which is I'm checking right now, there's 101 people on. It's more than I would expect.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. So, yeah, here's the thing. I haven't been on the Permanent Deadman since, the first week it came out. And I literally logged on, looted a magic short bow, got killed by a guy with 99 magic, and I just got off. I was like, okay. All right.
People are surprisingly nice on those servers.
Yeah, maybe nowadays because it's dead as hell and they'd rather see some...
They see a level 20, when I played it, I'd be in Falador or something, and I'd have a guy come up to me, he's level 120, and he's trades me and gives me a bunch of gear, and he's here, use this, add me, if anyone's ever fucking around with you, let me know and I'll come fight them, I'll fight them back and defend you a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because they know that it's dying, or it's 100 people isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I'm going to say, though, very good. 80 people are probably max in a clan or something, you know what I mean? And 20 are people are just I'll try it out. Lock 'em. Yeah,
I'm sure there's some of that, and but some people generally enjoy it, and they would love to see people come back and play it. Yep. And actually get, the more people, the better, right? Yep. So they try to help you out. But then my problem is, I took that guy's gear, he logged off or whatever, and then I went to Al-Kharad to maybe train agility or do crafting, something stupid. And I got jumped by 4 max levels. And I'm level 20, you know what I mean? With an air staff. And I just get killed. And then I'm running back to my body to see if they left anything. killed again. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is why nobody plays it. And this is why that guy's being so nice to me.
Yep. Yeah, that's Dead Man, permanent Dead Man. It's a little funky, but so they want to make some changes. Here's the thing. I'm gonna probably like read some of this verbatim because I don't know exactly what goes on and what changes they have made into the server. Because sometimes they'll make a note with an asterisk saying this will be implemented into permanent Dead Man mode, but sometimes it's not there. So some like, anyways. So they like to make some changes. So the addition of a Grand Exchange has been the most popular and requested change of the server. Don't know why that's not in there. They added it to seasonal. Why can they do it to permanent at the same time? I don't.
I think permanent needs it way more than seasonal.
Yeah, 100%.
Good luck buying anything on seasonal. When I played on not seasonal, sorry, permanent. When I play on the permanent, though, I treat myself as like an Iron Man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would not be surprised if there's a permanent Dead Man mode Discord. You probably find one where like everyone who plays it is in it. Just like RuneScape Classic, there's a Skype group that everyone that plays the Classic is in, and that's how you buy and sell items and stuff. And it's through like a Skype, cool. So it's probably the same thing with a Discord. So they've always said that transferring experience from seasonal servers to the permanent one isn't possible, and nothing has changed, but an alternative option they'd like to explore is rewarding players that have done well in the seasonal by giving them a bonus experience multiplier for a certain period of time in the permanent Dead Man world. They don't know when or how, but they could do it at some point.
It's an idea.
Yeah. The ability to unnote food was one of the first major changes we made to the seasonal. Although many have accustomed themselves to using this method, it encourages too safe an environment. With this in mind, they'd like to remove it. In addition to preventing players from unnoting food, we want to remove the ability to eat and drink potions the instant the bank interface closes, the same delay. So they kind of want to make it more consistent with the seasonals, I guess.
Sure. With
the little freeze mechanic or the, I don't know, anti-eat stuff. Yeah. They want to change the player-owned house spec pool. To like the nerf from seasonals to be added. The nerf is you can't use it after 3 minutes of combat. You have to wait 3 minutes out of combat to use it to prevent, spec rushing people over and over again.
Yeah, okay. Nice.
Yeah, PvP combat within save zones has been disabled in seasonals, but they want to add that to the permanent Dead Man worlds. Cool. We'll be investigating ways to prevent players using low-cost gear to find high-level content due to no XP lost on death while unskulled. They want to look into lowering the cost of the unique untradeable item purchase with the bespoke currency, such as the rune pouch.
What?
I guess they want to make like rune pouches cheaper on the server.
These people, what does bespoke mean? Let's look it up.
No, I have no idea. They're just making up shit now. Seeing if anyone actually plays.
Past of B-speak. Let's look at what B-speak means.
Yeah, man, it's British people. They just make up words. Quickly add them to the dictionary.
Oh, order or reserve something in advance.
So I guess it's just like all what you use, because the emblems, you turn them in for points. And with the points you buy stuff, so they might want to reduce the items, untradeable items purchased with that, such as the rune pouch.
So, on the topic of the word bespeak, it's a little fun fact. It was most popular in the 1800s. It's declined heavily since then. It derived from the Old English word besprechen.
Nice.
Which means speak up.
To speak up?
I guess, or speak out.
Oh, okay.
So, that's the word of the day. The word of the day is.
Am I using this properly? It means to speak up.
It's like something in advance of something.
Okay, never mind. Fuck it. I was gonna try.
Yeah,
to make
I don't even know.
But
I actually didn't learn anything except for besprechen.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go use that word sometimes and pretend like I know what it means.
Yeah. They want to improve the PJ timer. And they want to introduce a 6-hour immunity for new accounts with a vastly increased experience, such as 50 times.
Oh, man.
Yep.
For my level 20, I gotta scrap that shit.
Yep. In addition to the immunity, they want to vastly increase the effectiveness of starter gear that is given from the tutors. This would make the training sword and shield equivalent to rune items.
What?
The mage tutor equivalent to an improved elemental staff. And the range tutor and magic short bow.
That's sick. That's not a bad idea.
I think it is, but that is my opinion.
Okay. I mean, I think it's interesting. I'm sitting there with a steel dagger right now.
It would be cool if you could only use it for the 6-hour immunity. And then once then, nope. Then I'd be more down. There's gonna be ways to abuse it. The people are going to find like some cheesy ass shit, but whatever. They don't want to change the base experience rates outside of the immunity period. So pretty much, they just want to make it consistent with Seasonal Deadman, even though, like, I swear to God, some of these changes have been like, we're going to add this to the Deadman permanent. But, like, I'm reading them again. Like, I remember, like, reading the spec pool changes and them saying, like, within a cliff note, we're going to add this to Deadman, like, permanent.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just getting lazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it's just, there's a lot of things they say on the QAs or something like that never really gets added to a dev blog like this.
Yeah.
Or gets mentioned somewhere, and then we don't really see much about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see. I kind of going back to the Wildy Rejuvenation revisited part, I kind of made a post. I messaged Mod Aiza asking, like, where can we get what's the best way to get in touch? Because sometimes if you have some item suggestions, and generally the idea is to post, like, the best way to do it is to do it on Reddit.
Yep.
Which is kind of stupid.
Yep.
Because you get a lot of factors that could cause good ideas to never get seen.
Such as somebody paying to boost their post, because you can do that pretty easily.
Yeah, that's true. I think there was a video on Reddit about how they got their videos to the top of the video subreddit or some shit like that. Pretty interesting. So yeah, that is that way. There's also, if you post at like bad times, you might just not gain traction fast enough.
Mm-hmm. Even if it might be a good idea, it might get like, it's just lost in the sea of shit posts and memes.
Oh yeah, that's poetic.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so things like that. He said you can post on the forums. That's usually a good way. So I hope somebody's going through and spending, like, I don't know, like a good solid day looking through all of them. But I mentioned probably a handful of episodes back about some of the ideas I came up with. But I kind of retouched on some of them. Do you want to hear? I came up with, I think it's 4 different rings.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so I'll quickly go through it, because I might be just rehashing some of the other ones I talked about in the past episode, but the reason I'm saying rings is because it's one of the most unused equipment slots, I guess. Like, most people just have a Ring of Recoil, or maybe
a dueling ring. Yeah.
Or dueling ring, Ring of Life, depending where you are, or even the Lunar's rings. It gives you 2+ in magic.
Yeah.
So, really not much, and like, yeah, so having some more rings to choose from, I don't think would be the worst idea. So I've thought a bunch of these and kind of taken the theme of the Ring of Recoil, which recoils damage back to your opponent when you take damage, but it's only 1s, 2s, and 3s, depending on how hard you get hit. You gotta get hit hard to reflect a 3. If you can even do that, right? Anyways. So I took that theme and kind of applied it to different concepts. So the first one was the Ring of Recoil, but for prayer. So when you take damage, you would regain some prayer points, but it would never be at a rate where you're like out regaining prayer points than what you're losing. And if you're being smited, you'd still be losing them, just probably at a little bit slower. I know I mentioned that one last time, but another one I came up with was the Ring of Recoil, but for run energy. So, and the idea of a lot of these is I thought, like, if you were a PVMer in the wilderness, these would help you as well as PvPers who are PKing.
Yep.
So this way, PVMers had a little bit more survivability, but they weren't useless to PvPers. But anyways, the Ring of Recoil for energy, I was thinking, originally, let's say you're a PVMer and whenever you get hit, you take damage, it takes some of the person who's attacking you, it takes some of their run energy, and you receive it. But at the same time, this could also work if you're dealing damage, where you suck the energy back from them. I don't know which one would be, if any of those would be broken, or which one would work better. Originally, it was damage you received, just to make it seem like there's a chance of you actually being able to escape if that person is just mad hitting you and you're just trying to run away. Just an idea.
Yeah.
And the next one, which was like the more unique one that I thought of, because the last one I mentioned the Ring of Recoil, but for poison, which acted like a vengeance against poison, or
venom or something.
Venom or poison. So this one was, and I mentioned it last time again, was that if you were poisoned and you had this ring on, every time you took poison damage, it would reflect that poison damage to your opponent. I don't know if it at 100% or what. I tried to keep the specific numbers out of it because I know that's more of a Jagex thing to do, but these are just general concepts. But anyways, with that ring, it would cause you to think like, hey, I could, instead of drinking anti-poison to remove my poison, I could keep it and use that to help me combo, but at the same time, you're going to be taking poison damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of makes it more risk and reward if you could play it right.
Yeah.
But that one wasn't really unique. That was the one I thought of last time. And this one was the Ring of Recoil, but for immobility. So last time I said with a barrage or something, maybe it would half the amount it would freeze you for. And I forgot that the prayers already do that, protecting from magic. But how about something like, if you get barrage for 30 seconds, you recoil like 5 to 10 seconds of immobility to your opponent, so then he can't move as well for 5 to 10 seconds. So it's not like he freezes himself and you can keep running away. You'd be frozen, but there'd be like 5 to 10 seconds where he can't better position yourself.
I'd like that because it would prevent the typical rushing of barrage Gmaul rush. You barrage them and then you're frozen for 5 seconds. You can't just rush them down.
I never even thought of that. That's not bad. So yeah, those are a few that I thought of. And then the thing is, like, it gives you ideas that you could work with for, like, the revs. They could drop different gems that worked that way. They could drop flat-out rings that worked out that way. They could drop, like, a dust that applied to gems to work as, like, a gem sink. You know what I mean? There's different ways of doing it. You could have the rings be, what's the word? Have, like, charges that break over time. Or they could be, like, rings that just over time they lose their charge, and then you got to recharge.
So something
them
like
with something.
Either like a recoil, once it's done, or like a suffering where you have to like actively put items into it to recharge it. Yeah,
or you could just make it a flat item that like the ring of Berserk ring, where it just always has the stats. You know, again, but like you got a lot to work with to see what would fit and what wouldn't. But I don't know.
Okay, what do you think of the idea of a ring that kind of works like retribution? So if you go down to like, let's say 5 prayer or something, or like under 10% of your max prayer, it breaks and then gives you 10% of your prayer.
Some prayer back?
Yeah, so it would work as like a counter to smite. So let's say you like Ring of the Altar Boy. I don't know what you'd call it. Let's call it that. So you like equipped it, and then let's say you have like 70 prayer or something. Once you fall under 70 prayer with it equipped, the ring automatically breaks and then gives you 10% of your prayer. So you'd be up to 14.
Like that's a decent idea, but they do have that already. Wait, 1 second.
With what?
Well, actually, they have something similar to that works a bit differently, though. But I was going to say, I thought it would work the same way, but this is actually different. So they have the Necklace of Faith, which is a silver jewelry amulet. Or maybe it's a necklace. And it says restores 10% of total prayer points if your HP falls under 20%. So it is different. It's not really an anti-smite, now that you mention it. But
well, because the main thing is like, if you're PKing or you're PVMing, you're gonna bring a glory most likely.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or if you're stingy, a burning amulet, so you can equip it. Like, I like rings because you're not going, like, there's no options for rings. Like, you're right. You bring, like, if you're like rolling the cash, you'll bring a warrior's ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But generally, it's a ring of recoil, or it's a dueling ring, or maybe like the ring of wealth. So like after your revs trip, you can just teleport to the Grand Exchange and sell stuff. I've seen some people bring those when I PK them at the revs.
Yeah,
'cause I'm an asshole, but like, I don't know. I do think that like I like those items because like I think like the big thing with like the PVMing in the wilderness is that people are totally open to the idea until they walk out after a night in the negatives.
Sure, okay.
So like I have like 50 or 60 kills of Veninatus. I've died once because I was really stupid and I died to a clan. I got cocky trying to fight them back. And I actually almost got one of them. All right, if I got one of them, I would have got his food and I would have fucking lived. I got so close to running away, or to escaping. But like, all in all, though, I've walked out with more money doing Veninatus. So I'm like, I'll keep doing it. But Callisto, I mean, you guys know my thoughts on Callisto. Like, every time I go to Callisto, I walk out with like minus 500k. I'll do like a 3-4 hour session. And I'll die like 6 or 7 times. And like, I get it. It's the wilderness. You know, that sucks for me. You know, I should learn to bring a clan of my own or something, or to ask a clan that only looks for other clan members to kill. Like, I don't know. But like, it's more of just like, why bother? Like, I'm not doing Callisto for fun. Ironically, I do Veninatus for fun, and because I have a better chance of like anti-PKing and living. But like, you want to make money, or you want like to have like a better chance to live, right? And the shittiest thing, if you watch like a friend, I know this is kind of cherry picking, but he lost his flail on his Iron Man killing Callisto.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he picked up an item that was worth more than his flail and he lost it. And that's like, all right, that could be 50, that could easily be 50 hours of barrows. You know what I mean?
I didn't even think about that.
And I mean, like, the game's, like, a lot of shit has already, like, Iron Man from day one to now, Iron Man is way, 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 way easier to play.
Oh yeah.
So like, I'm not saying give Iron Man a better chance. I'm saying just like, I don't know, people get burnt like doing shit in the wilderness and they stop. Like, so like, give them a better chance to either be like, fuck, that was close, I want to go back, or I want to try fighting them back, or like, you want to make people not as salty, or like have a better chance of escaping. Because honestly, it's really easy to kill PVMers in the wilderness. It's really fucking easy. Like me.
Yeah, you don't want the survivability factor for the PVMer to come from how skilled is the PvPer. It should fall a little bit towards that, but you should also, like, the PVMer should be able to have some counterplay in the sense of, like, you know, maybe with some items they could, like, be able to, you know what I mean? You got a few of them, like the Ring of Life, which doesn't help you at Callisto. You got the Phoenix Necklace, which, again...
But you're better off bringing a brew or a Caramblon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more, the main thing is like, the only counterplay is one to anti-PK, or get your prayers done correctly. So like, you can do stuff to live. Like I've like doing Veninatus, I've been attacked like 6 times, I think, in total. And I've died once and I've gotten 1 kill. And, literally, like, Veninatus is different because you just take 1 step into like the safe zone, into singles. And I like Veninatus as an example because, so when you're doing Callisto, when the PKers attack you, they log in pretty much next to Callisto, but Callisto won't aggro onto them, and they sit there and spam barrages on you while you're tanking Callisto.
Yeah, okay.
Which, if you're, you know, oh, you should have safe spotted, idiot, whatever. You know, people log in at the safe spot too. But I mean, with Veninatus, people log in, you take like 1 or 2 steps into singles, you can make it so Veninatus is just hitting them as well, and they have to pray mage while they're fighting you, which lets you, if you have an MSB and D high top, you can swap to that and hit them. Like Veninatus will, like, more times than not help out the PVMer. So it actually, when you get jumped by 2 people, it's still a fair fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah, which is
like,
it's
I'll
nice.
I'll be soloing, and like a team of 3, I get hit with the tele block, and I like, I can still make it, and like, but like Venenatis is the only one that has that, where like the counterplay is like knowing the zones and knowing the boss. Callisto, like, maybe if the team's dumb when they walk under it, but like that doesn't really happen. And like
Every
Revenant
time
Caves
that I see them spawn, and I'm like, okay, hopefully not spawn, but log in. I'm hoping Callisto turns on them, because I'm like, maybe he can combo them out with me. But always, it's like Callisto starts teaming with the PKers and helps.
Yeah,
them
exactly,
PK
right.
me.
and you get burnt for doing solo content. But Venenatis, it's still like like if you get jumped by a team of 5 like me, and you're like, oh, I can take them, and then you fucking die to the worst PKer in the world, and like you're still salty about it 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I'm fine with that, but like, at least I know there's something I can do there. Callisto, not really. Revenant Caves, it's how many times are they going to splash? Because I'm wearing full D-hide and I'm praying range with preferably Mystic Might to get your mage defense up.
Yeah.
And do I have 89 agility? Because here's the thing,
that's a big one.
Yeah, like if you have 89 agility, like you're pretty much golden. Like 90% of the kills I lose at Rev Caves is not 90. I'll say like 40% of the kills I lose at Rev Caves is like they have 89 agility. Another 40 is I splash legit 6 tele blocks in a row, or my buddy splashes 6 barrages in a row and they can just walk out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's only 2 of us though. You bring 4 people, right?
Yep.
Way more of a chance of catching freezes and TBs, but like a lot of it is like Venenatis, like the only thing I can think of that like actually has fun little mechanics that like they can't do that for everything though, right? They can't oh, your Scald Revenants will attack you, because like that's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like that's really dumb. You can't just add a 1 square single combat area. Like, I don't know. So like the only really answer that I kind of like is like bring some rings in or something. Use up that empty slot that PVMers go, fuck it, I'll just put a ring of dueling, because when I glory, I can go to Clan Wars and it's faster to heal up. Like, I don't know.
It's hard to say. There's like when you try to start thinking out of the box, you can come up with some pretty cool ideas. So before we beat this talking about the wilderness bullshit into the ground, I want to bring up one more that I did kind of see by a user named Sam Parkey on the Runescape forums.
Okay.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah.
RuneScape forums.
Coming in clutch.
What a throwback. So this guy kind of had something similar, but with some necklaces. He mentions a few of them. One of them is the like Necklace of the Gods. Prayer points would drain slower in the wilderness, and you get an additional 5+ prayer point boost. Not prayer point, sorry. Stat boost. 5+ prayer point stat boost. But one that I thought was kind of interesting, and this is like kind of thinking out of the box, which you could see a lot of problems happening, but then you can start thinking, well, how could you make this work? Necklace of Invisibility. The player's white dot on the minimap would disappear at random intervals. Sounds super OP, but you can make it where it's random and it's only for 1 to 2 seconds.
Yeah, you wouldn't really get much use out of that, though.
It'd be cool to have it for, like, jumping people. It's since it's random, it makes it hard.
Mm-hmm.
But you could do things to make it work where, like, maybe it has an activation where you use it and it drains your not your prayer points. Or, maybe it does drain your prayer points, but maybe you use the activation and it drains your special. So now you have no special, but you could use it to rush someone. Maybe if they're staring, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I thought it was a pretty interesting idea to have your white dot on the minimap disappear, but then you got to think of, like, I don't know. I'm sure there's some problems that would occur with that, but
my only thing is, like, if they were to make more changes and they're trying to promote this ecosystem, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what example I used last time. I used, like, rabbits, wolves, and, like, bears or some shit.
Okay, what's this week?
You're gonna need 100 rabbits to feed 10 wolves. I mean, bears don't eat wolves, but like, what the fuck eats wolves?
Humans.
Humans? Okay.
Humans eat wolves.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, okay, I'll just continue. Let's just pretend bears eat wolves for a bit. Let's pretend it's like Callisto or something, or Venenatis,
Sharks.
right? Okay, sharks. Okay, how about this? It would be like minnows, seals, and sharks, right? That works. Okay, we're going aquatic right here, boys.
Oh man, get your fishbowl helmet on.
So the shark is okay. So PVMers are minnows and skillers are minnows. Shit clans that kill PVMers like me are like seals, and then sharks are like clans that only go for other clans and PKers.
Nice.
All right. So you're gonna need like 100 minnows to feed like more. Like, let's just pretend 100 minnows to feed a couple seals, and you're gonna need a couple seals to feed one shark. You're gonna need
Actually, Deagin, I'm a marine biologist,
Well,
and that's just physically impossible to keep a seal fully fed.
okay,
Especially during the winter.
Yeah, we'll just make a fish. I don't fucking know. We'll make some clown fish. But you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna need a shit ton of PVMers for the shit clans to go after, myself included, to go after the PVMers. And then you're gonna need, like, you know, the guys that go for PK, you know what I mean? Like, you need a lot of PVMers to, like, feed the ecosystem, right? Like, in my experience, you go to Rev Caves, you're killing someone, you're making, like, 60k a kill. You're getting 60k a kill worth drops. You kill a PK, you're getting, like, 500k a kill.
Yeah.
For, like, speaking from experience, like, the couple PKers I actually, like, can find and they'll fight back and not be bitches, you'll get, like, 500k a kill. But, like, if there's no PVMers, the PKers won't go there, and you can't go and find other PKers there, so it's kind of like, don't promote a shitty ecosystem. No, but, like, I don't know. It's
the
just,
circle of PvP.
Yeah, like, they need to give a feeding, like, they need, like, a mating ground for, like, PVMers that, like, actually benefit them besides money. And what I mean is, like, items and things to do to, like, react to a clan of 10 people jumping on you. But, like, you know, switching prayers, literally, if you have the right prayer on and you're in full D'hide with Mystic Might and you get hit by the first telly block in Barrage, you're like, well, that sucks. But sometimes they splash 6+ times on you. Like, it's kind of really weird to expect, like, RNG to be the deciding factor, like, purely RNG. It's like, what if you do get called that telly block or Barrage? Is it based down to your agility skill?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like the idea of new items to, like, give PVMers the option to, like, maybe anti-PK or, like, tank all that stuff. But anyways, do you want to move on?
Fuck, I was trying to think of the quote that Miss Frizzle used to give, the Magic School Bus.
Mm-hmm. Don't be a little bitch and skull.
Yeah, basically. Here, let me pull it up.
Smite off, please. See ya in Lumbee.
Yeah, that's the new episodes.
Class, time to take chances, make mistakes, get messy.
Wow, that was like the worst quality I could have ever expected. I'm sorry, guys. I can't believe I just put everyone through that.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Gets the point across.
I'd take it back if I could. I'd take it back if I could.
Yeah, it's too late now. But here, let's move on. To the Dragon Slayer 2 competitions. I believe. Wait, did I just miss part of the update? I think I hit everything, right? I did. Okay.
Dragon Slayer 2 competition.
Yep. So much like the Inferno, was it, or Fossil Island? They have a little competition to create the old school login screen. You go on their website, they will show you an image, and they want you to mirror it. They want you to draw on, like, this part of the image and then mirror it. And then the winner, I guess, gets featured, and, like, their reward shows up, like, 4 months later after they make a big complaint on, Reddit. So you see what happens with the rewards. No, but yeah, so you can, make a little image for, Jagex.
Similar to what they did with the Fossil Island.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You email at oldschoolcommunity@jagex.com, include login screen in the subject of the email, have your design attached as a JPEG. Sorry, Hank Hill. Include your RuneScape display name in the body of the email. And the deadline is Monday, January the 1st. The winner will be announced on Thursday the 4th. I believe that's when Dragon Slayer 2 comes out. In addition to seeing your login screen in game, the winner of the competition gets a goodie bag.
Nice.
Yeah. And this one I think is dedicated to you. So, as such, they're running a video competition for the best 60-second summary of the events and lore of the Dragon Slayer quest.
Dude.
So, your submission should be sent to oldschoolcommunity@jagex.com. It must include video competition in the subject of the email. Include a YouTube link to the video you wish to submit. Include your RuneScape display name in the body of the email. Same deadline. The winner will be announced on the 3rd of January, Q&A. Oh, sorry. We'd like to make, sorry, did I say Dragon Slayer 2? This is for Dragon Slayer 1. I don't know if I specified. It's for the older one.
Well, I was gonna say the Dragon Slayer 2 is coming out
the day
Wednesday after they release their winners, so that would make it a little bit tough. But
yeah, so you have until January the 1st to submit like a 60-second summary of the first one. Yeah, the winner gets a limited edition old school gaming PC from Chill Blast. I guess the King of the Skill guy didn't claim his fast enough, and they're just sending it off to the next person. No, probably not.
Imagine.
But yeah, that's it for the news.
Cool, not bad. Some pretty interesting stuff right there. I like the competitions they're doing. With actual decent rewards. I think in the past it was things like, we'll say congratulations to you. Mm-hmm. And things like, here's a mouse pad.
They literally said, like, you get bragging rights for one of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, no.
Pretty trashy.
Yeah. All right, so now to talk about what's going on in the community. Unfortunately, I didn't see a whole lot going on. I saw some bits and bytes.
Just a lot of memes. A lot of PvPer memes. Spade splits.
Yeah.
I couldn't really find much that went on.
No, one thing I saw was they showed a picture of the max cape version for the new best in slot range cape.
Yeah.
And like right now you can kind of infuse your max cape with your Inferno cape, you can infuse your Mage Arena 2 capes into it, and all it does is kind of recolor the current max cape.
Yep.
So they kind of just showed it recolored, which kind of makes you wonder what the new accumulator is going to look like, or the new Ava's Exalfilator. I can't remember what it's called. But this one is like a teal color. It was like similar to the Serpentine helmet. Oh, no, I shouldn't say Serpentine helmet. It looks like what Vorkath kind of looks like, which is like a bluey green.
Yeah, like a cyan-esque. Like, yeah, there's cyan, a lot of blue in it, which
teal.
Is weird because range is typically green in this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people were disagreeing with that.
Yeah, I can kind of understand why. It looks kind of weird. And on top of that, like, best in slot range setup looks pretty retarded anyways. Mm-hmm. Like, you got white and gold coming from the Armadillo.
Yep.
Then you got, like, puke green boots. And you got... and then you would have this cyan-looking cape.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really match too much.
Yeah, I do think they should just make it green, to be honest.
It makes sense. I'd be surprised if they didn't, but... Yeah, that's interesting. And I guess something that you kind of pointed towards my attention, which was a website called jadsimulator.com.
Yep.
So you brought this up to me, basically. Do you want to quickly go over it?
Yeah, jadsimulator.com is a website that you're supposed to use to practice Jad, and it's kind of known to, hack your account. It, like, either installs malware or some shit. I just want to let you guys know not to go on that, because there was a post, earlier this week on someone going on it and getting hacked and getting his bank cleaned.
Yeah.
He didn't have a PIN, but it was it was a type of Trojan virus, so it kind of fucked him. Make sure you don't go on that. Just please don't. You're gonna get hacked.
Yeah.
People do say it's common knowledge, but honestly, I never heard of this website before. And if somebody said go to Jad Simulator before you do Jad, because I know there's, I think 2 people I've talked to in the CC that are trying to, in our CC that are trying to get the Fire Cape, or they're like about to start it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're both pretty, like, I guess nervous. I don't know how to say it, but they're both like preparing for it pretty much. And like you could easily be baited into like, even Google, like if I Google Jad Simulator, is it the first site to come up? It isn't, thankfully, but there's like YouTube links that do link you to it.
Yeah. And it is a program you have to download from the site itself. But like, yeah, it's a shame that there's so many, like, you get so sketched out with visiting these websites related to RuneScape. Not all the time, but like, it's like you always got to keep in the back of your head, like, am I going to get hacked by downloading this? Am I going to get DDoS since I'm like signing up to this website or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is one of them, and it's kind of a shame, and yeah, it makes me wonder that like with the new mobile coming out, if we're going to start seeing like some apps come out that could easily take your information and, you know what I mean?
Yeah, hack you, yeah. I'd be really skeptical on that. So the site used to be legit though, so that's the thing. That's the biggest thing. The site used to be legit where the program was all fine and dandy, but the website was hijacked and the person put a rat into the program, which records pretty much everything, your webcam, everything on your computer, or they're able to get all your info and stuff. And the author took down, the guy who made the legit one took down the website, and then the person just bought the address and just put up their little hacky version, little infected version of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I just wouldn't chance it. You're better off just like watching like Pot Up Sun or someone's guide if you're gonna like learn Jad, or even try Zulrah, because Zulrah does have a Jad phase.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal for your first time around.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would say go in with the intentions of not being able to get it for the first round. And if you do, that's fucking fantastic. That's great. But really, your mindset should be, it's going to take me a few times, because it takes most people a few times.
Mm-hmm. Took me, I think, 5 times.
Yeah, I was, well, since, 2005, probably like 12 times. Shit.
Mm.
But, after you, it's like when you play games, like, I remember for Nintendo 64, I think it was Zelda, you'd face a boss that would just beat the shit out of you, and then you would beat it. And then if you ever came around to that boss again, or had to face it right afterwards for whatever reason, maybe you didn't save, you could beat it again, no problem.
Yeah.
It's that first time that was tough. And I found Zulrah is kind of the same way, but yeah, interesting to keep your eye out on that, and always be kind of skeptical when it comes to programs and shit for RuneScape, which is kind of a shame to say, but I guess kind of do your research before you just download something or what.
Yeah, Jad, honestly, it boils down to nerves. Once you start panicking and you it's like, you'll just start panicking. It's a lot of people like mess
You're your
up
own worst enemy
when the healers show up. And it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Just even let Jad get healed a decent amount, if that means like attack a healer in between each prey flick and stuff like that. Like,
oh, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I change my targeting to a healer, every time he does the attack, but I make sure I kill the healers. I don't just get them on me, I straight up kill them one by one, which does cause them to heal a lot, but it's easier for me. I don't have to worry about fucking up and having to spend another 40 minutes getting there.
Yeah, see, I do the opposite. I tag them all, just let them whack on me. You can, like, manipulate them so they stand in a row and only one hits you. But, yeah, just be careful of anything like that. Just thought I'd give you guys a heads up, because there are people in the CC that are looking to do Jad, so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Stay away from that. Your honestly best bet is to either practice on Zulrah, or, because I would say Zulrah is harder than Jad, but, also just try to get through it.
I'd say practice on Jad, to be honest.
The only thing is that Jad can be like, it's a like 40 minutes plus time commitment, depending on like what stats are. Like for me, it's a 40-minute, like if I have a Jad on Slayer task, it's 40 minutes from like point A to point B.
Yeah,
so it is a time commitment. You can fit a lot of Zulrahs in, but yeah, Jad's good. Just practice. It's fine. Just don't go on that site. Anyways, is there anything else in the community?
Yeah, one more thing to mention. Well, two more things, but the last thing's quick. I saw, this was a couple weeks going back, I think. I saw a post showing that RuneScape finally hit, Oldschool RuneScape finally hit 70,000 concurrent players playing at the same time.
Nice.
So that's pretty good, because we haven't reached those numbers since Oldschool RuneScape first got released, which it immediately died down, which of course it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But crazy to see that we're actually hitting those numbers again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes in the future. It seems like it's just going up and up.
Yeah.
So pretty good. That's good. Great for the game. And last thing I want to mention is Oldschool RuneScape YouTube channel released a video showing a little bit of Dragon Slayer 2. Not much, just walking through some of the areas for the quest. But they did it on mobile. So I don't know if there's any relation to that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that means mobile might be coming out or betas might be given out when Dragon Slayer 2 is released. Maybe not, but maybe. Just kind of interesting to see that. You can kind of get your hopes up if you want. Mm-hmm. But they did say it's going to be released early 2018, or at least the beta is going to be coming out first thing in 2018, so awesome. Cool stuff. All right, should we move on from all the goings on in the game?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right, so I mentioned before that there's not lore this week. I think I mentioned last week that's going to probably come in the next week or the week after in the new year, just because of how busy I've been. So just give you an update, though, just so you guys don't think it's gone the way of some of our earlier segments where it just kind of died down. But yeah, so that'll be coming up in the near future. And that's about it. So now we're at the part where I'm going to start telling you how you guys can get in touch with us. So there's a few ways of doing that. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on YouTube, you can easily just do any questions you want in the YouTube comments. But if you want to catch us on Twitter, it's at TheWildernessRS. Our Facebook's facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. Our email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. We have an in-game clan chat, which is WildCC. And we also have a Discord, which we have links, I believe, posted in both Facebook and Twitter.
Yep, they're both pinned.
There's a point where Twitter... Yeah, pinned. So there's a point where Twitter wasn't working for some reason, but if there's any issues, just let me know and I'll change them out as soon as possible. Or if one of us will. Yeah, I guess that's it. All right. Let's get out of here and let's go enjoy our holidays for coming up in the next couple days.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, guys, have a Merry Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful year so far. Mm-hmm. I guess I should have saved that part for next week in our New Year's episode.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right, guys. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, blah 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 blah. Yeah, have a good one.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Something to do with Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Crazy Kwanzaa. All right. Take care, guys. Until next week.
Yeah, have a good one.
Ta-ta.
Bye.